What's up guys, and welcome to today I'm going to talk about hopes and dreams and what to do and not to do if someone says they do have a dream or hopes or whatever, and if you also yourself have one and sort of aren't sure because of people around you maybe saying certain things and acting in a certain way and then just not being able to end up doing it because of that. So, because that is pretty much just the position I'm in now. I mean, not to big myself up, but I like to think I have constant flows of ideas, and yet every single one of them I've either started and then stopped because I have, like, you know, I find it hard to do self-motivation, and fuck if I have any around me, so from anyone else, so it ends up I'm not going ahead with it, and then there's things that I don't end up even starting. I mean, what I'm doing right now, looking at you guys, I'm only doing it now because my whole family's out of the house. I say whole family, I live with my two grandparents, so with them out of the house, I can now do this, because if I was doing this with them here, I'll just be getting comments every now and then. They'll be coming up and down the stairs saying, oh, you know, what are you doing? It's weird, because they've no idea about this kind of thing, so they'll be a bit confused. Come on, my dog. One sec, better sort my dog. Anyway, as I was saying, so yeah, so my grandparents don't understand this sort of thing, and my uncle's pretty good at supporting me in ideas, to be fair, so I have got some aspects of support. But yeah, so today in this video I'm going to just ramble on about some things I've written down. Yeah, just some things. So yeah, I've just written down a few things, and I'm just gonna flow with the flow. Flow with the flow? Go with the flow. Anyway. What the fuck is that? So the first point, that's probably the main point, because it's very often the reason why most people give up on something, is because of other people. Not that they don't support them, but that they're actually negative about it. So just not doing anything is not great, but not being bad, at least there's something, at least you're not doing anything specifically negative. But if you do something specifically sort of like harming their ideas and plans and hopes and dreams, that's not very nice. So if anyone does come to you and they mention they want to do something, they want to be a footballer or something, I mean, depending on their age, is whether how likely it is, but if let's say a 15-year-old comes to you and they're not that good at football and they say they want to be a footballer, I understand it will be hard to not kind of laugh in their face, depending on how good they are. They might be amazing, therefore fair enough, but yeah, in that situation it's a bit different. But I mean, if someone says they want to own a business one day or something like that, that is something that is very plausible. I mean, you know, if they work hard, they stick at it, plan it, and get the money. Obviously you need to get the money for it, but you know, if they keep a good credit score for like 10-15 years, manage to get the money from the bank, or even just save it themselves, depending on what they do, and then have like a massive, secure, detailed plan, there is no reason why they can't do it. So don't just think, because especially I doubt anyone is going to be watching this who's above the age of like 50 or something, but or 40, let's say 40 plus, generally you've reached your peak and you just continue what you do. Sometimes you can do something a bit like, whoa, that's good, like what's the guy, the Colonel, is that the one? Yeah, the Colonel. I don't know why it's called the Colonel, but I'm pretty sure it's the Colonel, right, for KFC. Apparently he was like, was it 82 or 70 something or 80 something when he actually started selling chicken just to people on like, he went around knocking on people's houses selling fried chicken. Now he has like definitely multi-millions, maybe multi-billion, I mean obviously he's not alive now, but multi-billions maybe. I'm sure it's probably a multi-billion pound company or dollar company, whatever. So yeah, like, there are some instances where you can do it above the age of 40, but generally if you haven't reached a thing by 45, 50, you're not really going to do too much more. But what I mean is, if you are above that age and you feel like you're at that point where you're not going to do anything else, don't tell people my age or 20, 30s, even you know, mid 30s to 40s. Don't be talking to them as if to say that they've got no chance or whatever, because there is no reason why they can't do it. 5 years, 10 years, it could be completely different. Could be completely different to their situation then. Like, they might be a bum, no job, no prospects, no anything. Why would telling them that they're a bum, that they have no prospects, and that they're just a complete waste of space, why would that be a positive? It makes no sense. So tell them they can do stuff, see if you can help them. I mean, obviously this is sort of an extreme level, but I mean, the average person will have hopes and dreams and will be put down by people who have already failed. If you've already failed, don't be that guy or that girl, woman, whatever, who puts everyone else down because of it. You still have a chance, but they have a massive chance. Don't put them down. So that's the first, because I know from the fact that I have tons of ideas, as I said just a second ago, and then not having support, it hurts so much to think that you have all these plans that you think about, maybe even potentially hours and hours planning these things. You mention it to someone and they just instantly go, oh, I'm not sure about that, it doesn't sound very good. And you're just thinking, hold on, I've been planning this for, you know, there are some things that I've been planning for months and months. I mention it to my nan and she just instantly puts it into the ground and just calls it shit. I mean, she doesn't say the word, but you know what I mean. So it's a tough situation. It's not easy to be surrounded by negativity, as I would most certainly know. But you can definitely make it easier by just having the odd person, hopefully by you people there that I'm now speaking to, have the odd person who is positive. So that's now on to my next point, which is that positivity leads on to this next point, which is stay positive. Just because you've reached the level doesn't mean you can then just come down and just not put any effort or not care anymore. Because if you do reach your goal, which will be incredible, well done. But if you have, don't let it slip. Don't be like, oh yeah, I've reached it, now let's just screw everything. Because that's what happens when when you hear these actors that have got to that stage, and then all of a sudden they just do drugs and just die off, and you never hear about them until they die and are in a ditch somewhere. You don't want to be one of those people. Now that's an extreme level again, but it happens. What are you looking at? My dog's just looking at me. Roxy. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, so you don't want to be one of those people that just gets there and then comes down. If you get there, stay positive, stay working hard, and that's awesome. But that's if you're there. So then the other positive thing is if you do fail. So that's if you succeed, stay there by being positive and working hard. But if you fail and come down here, so it's positive, yeah. If you fail, stay positive because you can just still do it. Just keep working hard, keep planning things, and keep going with it. If you don't plan, and actually that leads on to my next point a bit further on. Planning is essential, but yeah, plan things and just see. My dog is just looking straight at me. Go away! Come here then. Bloody dog. She's so creepy. She's just looking at me. I mean, I don't really want to move the camera because it took ages to set this up. So, yeah. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is positivity is a massive factor. Even if you've got there, stay positive. If you haven't and you've actually failed, and just not done anything, but actually failed, stay positive because you can bring it back, you can do the business, you can be happy days. But not only that, the other P, that's the one. The other P, which is part of my pecs. Very confusing, right? No, part of my pecs, not these pecs. Not me. No, but pecs, okay? Pecs as in P-E-C-S. Right? Is that how you spell pecs? Anyway, well, it's a shortened version of pectorals. Anyway, so pecs, P-E-C-S. Now, P stands for, does S stand for anything? It does. I made this up. I'm quite proud because I made this up instantly. It was like an instant sort of like, you need to do this and this and this and this. That spells pecs. It was, you know, I was just impressed with myself. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say here, without going off on one again, is PECS is plan, because you need to plan the hell out of everything. Just plan like you've never planned before. Just endless planning, because if you don't plan, firstly, if you are intending to get money from a bank to do whatever your hopes and dreams are, planning is like the only way. You will not, even with tons of planning, you still got a slim chance, or you still got a lot to do. But yeah, so planning is like the main thing. Obviously, if you plan and then don't do anything, it's kind of pointless, but planning is the most important thing. Then you've got to PE, so E is execute, because as I say, there's no point planning if you don't do it. So you plan this much, execute, because you need to take the first steps. Once you've done it, and maybe you've even got the money from the bank or whatever, depending on what the dream is, but planning is essential. Executing it is massive as well, because you need to do it. You need to actually do what you plan. You can't just plan for endless, years and years of planning and then you just don't do it. So you have to do it. Execute. Not too much. Don't do it too like over the top, like, oh, now I've got a plan, now it's all good, I'm just gonna go. It doesn't work like that. You have to take it step by step, take it slow. Then the next thing comes, which is the C, which is what's the word? Yeah, which is consult, and that is consult the plan. Go back to the plan. Consult, is that the right word? Yeah. So consult. C is consult. You need to go back to your plan, consult your plan, go through it, to then take the next step. So don't go mad and just go, okay, I'm at E, I can execute. Go mental. No. Take a few steps. If it seems, especially if it seems like you're going a bit too quick, then go back to the plan, definitely. But you should always execute, consult, execute, consult. So when I say PECs, it's more like basically, as in you execute, consult, you know what I mean, you go backwards and forwards. But we'll put it simply as PECs, okay? But you do a lot of backwards and forwards. Plan, execute, consult, blah, blah, blah. S. Now S is just really the final product, which is strive. You know, you strive for more. You've strived to get to that point, but you need to strive to build on it, which is coming back to the point where I said about being positive and hard working. When you've got to that level, when you've reached that level of having got to your goal, don't just think that's it, I'm done. Get on that thing and strive for better. So striving to get to the point and then strive to keep it and go and improve and blah blah blah. So that is PECs. Planning, execute. Okay, we'll go from here. Planning, because obviously planning, execute, consult and strive. Sorted. Hopefully I would have edited something here, if not I look like a tit. Now, having said all that, I have to be honest and say sometimes it is better to just leave a dream as a dream and move on with your life. Because you know, the reason why you plan is to sort of not just know how you're going to do it, but know if you can do it. Because if you plan it and you realise you need this sort of grades to do it, because I've been talking as if it's a business idea, which a lot of dreams are, but it could be just simply going to university. If you're maybe, what would the age be, like 16, and you're 16, 17 looking to go to university, you'll be maybe making your plans, you know, within your plans it'd be to do with grades, as in how you're going to get the grades, and then what you're going to do in terms of applying to places, what you're going to need. It's a massive plan, but I didn't do it. I'm not going to uni, but just a choice really. So part of that plan is to do with grades. Now grades, if like what I did was I was starting the plans to go to uni, then I thought, I was having doubts because I thought there's definitely ways out of doing uni. You don't have to do uni. There's definitely you know, there's many options. So you know, you go to college instead of sixth form, and from college you can go to an apprenticeship or straight to work, and then the same with coming out of sixth form, going to an apprenticeship, go to work, or just go straight to work. Straight. There's many options. So that was in my mind at that time, but I was still 50-50. I was still like, I can consider uni. But then I thought about it and I thought what I want to do, which is architecture, you need like A's and A stars and stuff like that, and at least B's, well at least C's, but you know, you need some good grades as well as good actual coursework material, so that you can actually show them what you can do, not just with the grades, but actually show them physical stuff. So yeah, there was just too much for me as I was planning that, and that was one of my plans. It didn't work out at that point, so I had to take the mature decision of doing what I'm now saying, which is, you know, this point that I'm making is plan it, but if in your planning you realise it's just worth leaving, do it. Just leave it. Just keep it as a dream, shift it, and have another dream. If your dream is just not, you know, you're just not going to be able to get there, just give up. I know that sounds bad. That sounds really bad, but after you planned it, give up. If you know it's best not to. Like what I did with my example. I just knew I wasn't going to get the grades. There's no point planning anymore. There's no point doing anything else if you can't get it. So, you know. So that's a point that's very hard to say right. It's very hard to be misunderstood. It's very easy to be misunderstood. I don't mean just think, oh, this is my dream, oh, it's getting a bit hard, give up. I don't mean that. I just mean if you're planning it and it just doesn't seem like it's going to be plausible, it's just not possible kind of thing, ditch it, because you need to move on and get another dream. Move on and build on another idea. That is the way. I don't know if you can see the side of it. I don't know, you probably can't. Alright, anyway, so yeah, just build on another idea, move on. It's so hot. I am so hot. I've got this bloody light right here. It's a blooming bright bulb. And it's hot. It's blooming anything. Oh, it's so hot. Anyway, back to the main video. My final point, moving on from the last bit, which is about knowing when to give up, which sometimes you do have to. Sometimes you have to give up. Sometimes you shouldn't, but sometimes you need to. You know, sometimes it's the mature decision to just get on with your life and move on to another one. Anyway, so that moves me on to the next one, which is when you do give up, make sure you know exactly what you're giving up and why you're doing it. Because think back to when you started whatever you're doing. I mean, it might not just be a dream. I mean, there's a situation that there's a girl I know, and all her life, I say all her life, from a pretty young age. So basically, for a massive part of her life, horse riding has been a massive deal for her. Now, recently there's been quite a tragedy related to horses and such things. It's not really for me to say about, so I'll just leave it as some of kind of that. But the thing is, with her, she's recently said that she has thought about it, and she's probably going to stop horse riding altogether. I feel like she's too in love with horse riding, and for me, if I was going to talk to her about it, I mean, I haven't spoken to her about it, but if I was going to, I would definitely say, think back to why you started it. And I'm pretty sure I saw a meme about this pretty recently. I'll put it on screen now. So it says on this meme, this is what I kind of thought back to, was you know, when you feel like quitting, think about why you started. And this popped up and it instantly came to mind was this girl, and you know, the horse riding, and it was frustrating because there's so many people that quit things, which, as I was saying with the last point about knowing when to stop, yes, but you have to know when to stop, not just think, I'll stop. Know when when you need to stop. Don't just be like, I'll give up. Quitting is different to, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, as I said, know when to quit, but don't just quit without thinking back. As this thing says, think about why you started it. And with her, with horse riding, I feel like that's an example of when she'll regret it later on. Alright, so I think oh crap, let's put this to mute. So I think I have covered pretty much what I was trying to say. I'm not used to this quite yet, so just bear with me on the planning sections and you know, like making these videos very well structured and that sort of thing. I'm still learning, alright, I'm still learning, calm down. So yeah, a thumbs up would be nice, 2 thumbs up would be amazing, not that you can do it, but you know. And then sub if you want to see this, but improved each time. Like hopefully next time I'll actually do my hair. I've done too many videos where my hair is like floppy and stuff. I mean, next time I'll make sure I do that. And don't worry about my arms being out all the time. It is just so hot at the moment. So if you're worried about seeing these things flying around all the time, it won't be every single time. Only for like now because it's really hot. So yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.